Hi, friends, and a very pleasant good evening as we come to you tonight from Paul Critchfield Field here, Jack Critchfield Park in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, as we're bringing you action tonight, baseball action tonight. Thad Sturgeon alongside producer Brad Windhorse, and we certainly thank you for joining us here this evening for this broadcast of this crosstown rivalry, about a half hour north now here as we're playing at Slippery Rock University. Once again, folks, we certainly do appreciate you tuning in tonight. This is my first baseball game. If you're a longtime listener to our YouTube channel, Brad reached out to me late in the day yesterday and says, hey, we have the opportunity to play. The boys are going to be playing up here at Slippery Rock because they played earlier this week, and we'll call it a historic win for the Ellwood City Wolverines boys baseball team as they defeated Riverside 4-0. The first time they have defeated Riverside in 18 games over the span of 13 years. An exciting game there that Aaron Lake showed off his pitching going against the Yali Astro, the fine young man from Riverside who is committed to playing at Duke next year. He needs no introduction when you get that on your resume that you're going to be playing Division I baseball. But the Wolverines were victorious. They wanted to try to get the games in, but with the weather this week, they were unable to get the games in. And it kind of worked out that Slippery Rock College was available tonight. They had a doubleheader here earlier today.
They did.
And now we're playing this game here tonight. Brad, I'm doing all the talking here.
No, that's
I'm so
okay.
excited. A beautiful stadium here.
This is by far one of the best Division II, if not all divisions, ballparks here. And it's only a 25, 30-minute drive, and it is overshadowed a little bit by the football field to our left. But if you've not been here, folks, for baseball, and I guarantee you, District 10, it's in the back right corner, center field. That is a brand-new softball field, turf and everything. And I guarantee you, District 10 playoffs will definitely be hosted there.
And we'll be up here
soon.
at Slippery Rock, host, of course, the track and field WPIAL Championship. But we got baseball tonight, and the two teams coming in. Wolverines coming in with the all-time record. I just want to get to that. Their first game was played in 1961.
Yeah, I wasn't born yet.
I wasn't born yet either. However, through all those years, Riverside leads this all-time record, 51-40. Wolverines coming in with a record of 5-2. They outscored their opponents 56-31, averaging 7.6 per game, and while their opponents are averaging 4.4.
Yeah, and historically, Thad, that has been the downside of Ellwood the past decade or so, is the bats. And the bats have come alive the past couple of weeks.
And with the Riverside, they're coming in with a record of 4-1. They are heavily favored to win this section. A stat that jumped out to me when you sent it to me this morning, Brad, they are 7.2 points per game. The opponents are averaging 1.4 points per game. That tells you they're doing things right defensively, and more importantly, they're doing things are right fantastically pitching-wise.
Yeah,
and they are loaded for pitching, and we will get into that as the game progresses.
Right. Through 4 games, they gave up like 3 runs, and it took Ellwood to finally break through beyond that 3 mark. They put up 4. When you give up 7 runs through 5 games, that tells you that's the stat line right there.
Yes, it is. Tonight's matchup is going to feature senior Will Nardone on the bump for the I almost said Pirates here. I'm sorry. They were getting crushed last time I looked. Hopefully Nardone does a little bit better than Mitch Keller today. But Willie's coming in here with a record of 0-1. 7 games he appeared in. 9.1 innings pitched, 5.25 ERA. He's given up 14 runs, however, only 7 of them are earned. Before we get to the starting lineups and first pitch, we're going to have the playing of our national anthem. And there you have it, folks, our Star Spangled Banner, as we're just minutes away here from the start of tonight's section matchup between Ellwood City and Riverside. I mentioned the starting on the bump tonight for Riverside will be senior Zach Hare. Hare's coming in with a record of 2.0 with an ERA of .55. Another amazing stat about this Riverside team. He's pitched 12.2 innings with 25 strikeouts. Wow. I don't care what level you are at, high school, college, little league, majors. When you're averaging 2.2 strikeouts per inning, you're having a pretty good season.
Yep.
And on the flip side, one walk.
Yeah.
One walk. Control is something you don't really need to have to talk to Hare about. Hare's a super athlete. We've been watching him, as many of you know, I covered the football games. We saw him return a kick for a touchdown. It was 88 yards a bunch, and he's looking here to take what he did in football right over into baseball. And is he coming to Slippery Rock? There's talk of that.
Yes. Zach Hare is a Slippery Rock commit, so he is. I can guarantee you he's been on this field before, and won't be the last time either. And that I know a lot of people were kind of possibly hoping that this game may have been even pushed a little bit farther back to have like a rematch of those two starting pitchers for both teams. But nonetheless, when the drop-off is Zach Hare and Will Nardone for the Wolverines, that is a matchup that goes beyond just the field, the football field, the courts, basketball. Will Nardone went against them back in basketball a couple years back. So this is a heavy hitter. And if we have anything like we had this afternoon, Thad, in that doubleheader for Slippery Rock, the second game went into extra innings against Gannon, which I will say, as a Slippery Rock alum, SRU went 2-0 today. If we have anything like that today, we're in for a treat.
Yes, we are. And a beautiful night for baseball. The chill is not just quite set in yet for the evening.
58 degrees.
And the wind is a slight wind as you look at the flag out there, blowing from right to left. And here we have our first batter into the batter's box for the Riverside Panthers, and that is number 17, Sean Hayes. Sean Hayes went 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk in the game earlier this week. But on the season, he's averaging .308. He's 5 for 13 in the early going of this 2025 campaign. And here's the first pitch from Will Nardone. It's a strike. So 1-0, first pitch of the game strike for Mr. Will Nardone.
The first pitch here is slated 7:05 local time.
Second pitch just a little bit high. Count goes now to 1-1. Hayes waits for the pitch, gets it, and it's going to be now 2-1. As the ball just a little high in the zone. Perfect position here for us, Brad, sitting right behind the home plate umpire. Pitch by Nardone, and that's going to be wide outside. Going to take the pitch to 3-1. A good first pitch for Nardone, and followed by 3 balls. Pitch, and that's going to be the first walk of the game. That is to the first batter, Sean Hayes. Second and out up for Riverside is number 26, John Bowser. Bowser, 1 for 3 earlier this week. He's batting 3. We're going to be talking a lot of high numbers on averages. Gets the bunt down. Is down the first base line, picked up there by the catcher, throws to first base, and he is out. So a nice play there by the bunt as Jordan Keller got that ball picked up.
Yeah, nice little sack bunt there from the batter, Bowser. Again, last time out, these teams played a 4-0 game, so small ball may be the trick here to get out early and running.
Yeah, so now coming up to the plate is Hunter Garvin. He's having a season, folks. 1 for 2 earlier in the week, but he's 9 for 12 on the season. Is the lefty with a runner on second base. Hayes takes his lead from second, not really getting held on there much. Garvin's first pitch, he swung for the fences and came up empty. They're giving him all kind of room at that shortstop position. It's not a shift. The shortstop sitting there right about just to the left of second base. The second baseman for the Wolverines halfway between first and second base. Here's the pitch by Nardone. Bit inside, going to take the count to 1-1.
Yeah, all they're trying to do is just hold the runner there at second, just in case if there's a single, maybe a throw at home could get somebody out. Just in case.
You got the lefty up, so you might as well give him that hole on that left side of the infield. 1-1 pitch, 1 out. The pitch, and it's going to be fouled away by Garvin, the senior.
Nardone is a prototypical contact pitcher. He will pitch to contact. So last year he led the team in ground balls. It was like 72% of his outs were on the ground.
Ahead in the count here on Hunter Garvin. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, man on second base. Here comes the pitch from Nardone. The pitch is outside, but it's swung on and missed and dropped and throw down to first base to complete the strikeout as Nardone working out of a bit of a jam here as they had 1 out, runner on second base. Now there's 2 outs. Now up to the plate is number 4, Zach Hare. 0 for 3 earlier in this week, but he's batting .421, 8 for 19 in the early goings of this season. Nardone pitches to the righty.
Oh, boy.
High, deep
that's
ball.
gone.
I don't think this stadium's going to hold it.
Wow.
Home run for number 27, Zach Hare, making the score 2-0.
Yeah, that was right over the plate. He left that one up, and he said goodbye.
Don't see a lot of high school baseball, but you kind of knew when that ball left the bat, it was going over the left field wall, and it did.
And talk about that helping yourself out as the pitcher that's going to be coming up at the bottom of the first. You take a 2-0 lead by the home run yourself. Whew.
That ball was hit with some authority.
I would say.
Now, base is obviously cleared after the home run. Now up to the plate is Christian Lucarelli. And he gets pitched inside. Had to duck out of the way of that one. That's 1 ball and no strikes as Lucarelli, the righty, steps in there. There's the pitch. And that's going to be way up in the air, going to be in foul territory. And on top of the dugout, it goes out of play. Long, high strike. So
yeah.
For Lucarelli.
Yeah, if you're doing a vertical test, that was pretty far up there. But it counts as a foul ball, and it's a strike, so that makes the count now even 1-1.
So Lucarelli, known for his pitching, but batting .444, 4 for 9. And in that game earlier this week, he was 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout.
Yeah, he leads his team in a lot of categories batting-wise. So pitching is not only the forte. He is definitely a duo player, and not the only one for Riverside.
No, and we'll see more of that as the game progresses. The 1-1 pitch, and it's going to be a bit low.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about Hunter Garvin. There's pitchers all over the place.
So 2 balls and 1 strike now as Nardone trying to get out of this first inning. And there's a ball going to be chopped foul down the third base line into the dugout of the Wolverines. Now the count is 2-2.
So far, Nardone up to 15 pitches. We also know that he's not the only Nardone on the field. First base there is Carlo as well.
Here's the 2-2 pitch from Nardone. It's going to be way outside. Works the count full to 3-2, does Lucarelli.
Yeah, that one there was unfortunately a product of fingers on the ball there, kind of slipped out, and he threw that one right into the turf here. That is why it was played here, folks, is this entire field is turf. And that guarantees you, unless you have the L word, which we won't say.
We're not going to talk about that tonight. So Nardone now, 16 pitches here on the 3-2 pitch to Lucarelli. And that's going to be hit down the right field line, and it's going to be a foul ball onto the rooftop.
Yep. Building hits contact number 2. That is tendency up here with the dugouts, and they have all their storage facility, everything to the right here. So,
but there is some room in foul territory.
There is room.
As you pan the field. maybe not down by the poles. Here's the 3-2 pitch by Nardone, and that's going to be another foul ball, and that's going to be just on this side of the net. So another long foul ball. This might be about the 7th pitch of this at bat.
Yeah, it's getting up there now. 18 pitches, and we haven't really talked too much about it all season long, but when it comes to section play, pitch count does matter, folks. You start getting up near 75, you're sitting for 3 days, so this is very important. Although, no more section games the rest of the week.
Nope, here's the 3-2 pitch by Nardone, and gets him on the swing and a miss, strike him out. So, with a half inning of game played, it's the Riverside Panthers 2, Ellwood City coming to bat. Welcome back, folks, here to the Ellwood City Riverside game. Riverside takes a 2-0 lead on the home run by Zach Hare. Hey, folks, check out the baseball camp, K through 6th grade boys and girls, sponsored by EC Baseball coaches and players. That is going to be noon to 3 on Sunday, April 6th. So any future baseball players, kindergarten through 6th grade, check out the Ellwood City boosters. Baseball boosters, coaches and players for from noon to 3 on April 6th. First pitch from Hare is a ball to number 25 of the Wolverines, John Biscup. Second pitch is going to be outside. Biscup now ahead in the count to 2-0. The 2-0 pitch from Hare to Biscup. That's going to be a swing and a miss. Down the middle it went. We don't have a radar gun here, but that ball was moving from Hare.
Biscup with it being lead off here. He hits for contact. He beats out a lot of plays there at first in the infield.
Here's the pitch from Hare. That's going to be fouled straight back. Now gets the count to 2-2. Biscup awaits the 2-2 pitch from Hare. Standing deep or standing shallow in the box. Biscup asks for time. Catching for Hare tonight is Sean Hayes, who scored in that first inning. He walked. The 2-2 pitch as Biscup waits. And that's going to be a ball as Hayes looks down to first base umpire, thinking if Biscup held up his swing, and he did. So working the count to 3-2. Biscup waiting for the pitch from Hare. And that's going to be a swing and a miss as Hare gets his first strikeout.
Yeah, it's going to be a foul tip out straight back to the catcher who held on. So Biscup just underneath it. He was right there, but unfortunately it's a foul tip out.
Yep. Next up will be number 5, Nate Kennedy, in the second spot here in the batting order for Coach Chris Wise this evening. As Hare looks in to Hayes for the sign. Kennedy takes the strike right down the middle. I mentioned Hayes. He spent the last 2 years at second base, and this year came in behind the dish to take the full-time catching job. The 0-1 pitch from Hare. You look, and Kennedy did hold up on his check swing. It counts now to 1-1. Here's 1-1 pitch. Going to be just a bit high. Now 2-1.
Nate Kennedy playing that second base position. Every once in a while he'll slide a shortstop when Lake is pitching, but we will also see Nate Kennedy on the mound if Nardone gets into any trouble tonight.
The 2-1 pitch from Hare, and that's going to be a strike. As Kennedy looks to Coach Chris Wise at third base for a little bit of direction, and now he awaits the 2-2 pitch. And that time, he did not able to hold up his swing, and he's going to ring it up as a strikeout. So Hare gets the strikeout. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the first inning. Now up to the plate for the Wolverines is the catcher, number 27, Jordan Keller. Keller's first gets a hit to the shortstop, across the diamond, he throws, and he is out. So Hare gets out of the inning. No hits, no runs, making a score. Still the score, 2-0 in favor of the Panthers. Welcome back, folks. Riverside leading 2-0 here. Hey, want to make you aware of something going on here next Thursday, April 10th, the home game versus Shenango at 4:30. Autism Awareness Month and support the Lawrence County Autism Warriors. There's a first pitch outside, 1-0, as the pitch was to number 14, Drake Fox. T-shirts are still on sale, and all proceeds to be donated to Lawrence County Autism Awareness. Second pitch from Nardone. Oh, that's a strike. Going to be 1-1. In that game, EC will be wearing black jerseys with the infinity symbol for autism support. We'll get more onto this a little bit later. There's a hit by Fox to the shortstop. Cross the diamond it goes to record the first out of that as Aaron Lake gobbled that ball up and took it across to Nardone to record the first out.
Yeah, I like that they kind of test the shortstop right off the bat, and that's got to feel good with Aaron Lake after he's been pitching and very efficient there at that shortstop position. So it looks like we're going to have a little question of the lineup here maybe. Or are we getting a sub here or something? Okay, so I think the left and the right did not understand. Two different coaches here. The lineup yesterday, or the last game they played, was flip-flopped. And,
yes, from today.
Yep.
So Barber's going to be up to the bat now,
there you go.
and we'll see Meyer, the next batter. So Jackson Barber coming to the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss for Barber. Batting 133, 2 for 15 in the early goings of this season. Second pitch from Nardone, and there's dribbler up to shortstop Aaron Lake, fires across the field and unable to make the play, and the ball goes past Nardone. That's going to be...
I'm going to score that as a base hit. I think the runner there probably would beat that out. Yeah, let's go base hit on that
base hit there for Jackson Barber.
That was going to take an extra throw there from Lake, as he actually had to take 2 or 3 steps to the left. So that's going to be a base hit.
The ball was hit pretty deep in the hole and not hit super hard. So Lake had time to corral it, but had to kind of wait for that to happen. And the speedy Barber made it down first base. Pickoff attempt, throws over to first base. Barber back in time. Nardone with the pitch. And that's going to be a strike painting the outside corner of the plate. 0-1 now. Barber being held on over there by Carlo Nardone. Another throw over, and Nardone back in time. Now Nardone looks in for the sign. Gets the pitch, and there's going to be a high ball, going to be foul back over the stadium. Might have made it to the parking lot.
Yeah, if there is one thing you do here, you park pretty far away, because any lefty or righty, for that matter, can kind of make contact, and it's going to be dribbling through the parking lot.
So 0-2 pitch. That's going to be way outside. Tries to pick off, throws down. And back in time is Barber. It's Jordan Keller, the catcher, had to kind of dive for that ball. Wanted to try to catch Barber sleeping, and Speedy Barber got back to first base in time. 1-2 pitch now from Nardone. Going to be inside as Meyer, the batter, had to lean back a little bit out of that one. Now it's 2-2 pitch. As Meyer awaits. And that ball is going to be inside. No, they called it a strike.
They called it a strike. Wow. Okay.
I apologize. We'll give Nardone the... I kind of got juked out a little bit as Meyer moved back. And it crossed the plate, according to the home plate umpire. Next up is Logan Young, runner on first, 2 outs. Young's first swing and a miss.
Yeah, coming up hacking. I like that. I like the aggressive swing there. You're up 2-0. You want to see if you can make contact and make some trouble on the bases.
Yep. Throw over to first. Barber back in plenty of time. As Young crowding the plate pretty good there. There's the pitch. That's going to be a high fly ball. Going to be there, going to be corralled by the second baseman, Nate Kennedy, to get the third out. So a quick inning of work there. Gives up one hit. Does Willie Nardone. Score remains 2-0. Welcome back, folks. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning here. Hey, folks, a fun night to be had on Sunday, April 13th in the big gym there at Ellwood City. Meet the Wolverines. They do it in the fall, winter, and now we're going to do it for the spring sports, sponsored by the EC softball team, 6:30 at the big gym. First pitch by Zach Harris, a strike to number 3, Aaron Lake. Wolverines went down in order in that first inning. Aaron Lake in the number 4 spot. There's the pitch by Hare. There's a high ball. Going to be out there to center field. Taking a couple steps in is Hunter Garvin, and he makes the catch for the first out. Quick work there. 2 pitches by Hare and gets Lake to fly out. And now next up for the Wolverines will be the pitcher, Will Nardone. Nardone coming in, batting average of .273. He was 2 for 4 earlier in the week with 2 RBIs. Nardone, the righty, waits for Hare. Pitches a bit high. Bringing the count to 1-0. Nardone waits for the pitch from Hare. That's going to be way outside. Taking the count to 2-0. Got Chris Wise, head coach over there on the third base line. I believe that's Brad Welsh over there, manning the first base coaching duty for the Wolverines. Now the 2-0 pitch from Hare. And that's going to be a bit inside. So Nardone giving the pitcher counterpart.
Yeah, kind of like
making him work a little bit.
Wolverine fan, not good if you want to walk the first batter of the inning.
Second.
Well, yeah.
And there is a strike, and I think Nardone was pretty much taken the whole time on that one, on that 3-0 count. So now 3-1. Nardone, second baseman, playing kind of in. There's the pitch, and that's going to be a strike.
Give him that low call here. Yeah, anytime you walk a player, it always seems like they come in to score runs that way.
Well, and the thing is, I mentioned Hare. He's with 13 innings now and only walked 1 batter all season on this 3-2 pitch. Will Nardone be the second? We'll have to find out next pitch because that one might have hit my car behind home plate here. we didn't get the memo to not park there, Brad. You sent me 21 pages of information, but don't tell me where to park the car. So Nardone now on the 3-2 pitch, 6th pitch of the at-bat for Nardone. Hair reaches back, and he draws the walk, does Willie Nardone. Something the Riverside fans don't see much is Hair walking a batter. And now coming up to bat is Cameron Mills.
Yep, we're going to have a courtesy runner. That'll be number 7. That's Anthony Barbario. That's a running back, fullback there on the bases. 1 goal in mind. Run to second, and then eventually, I guess, run to home at some point.
Yep. Yep. Because Cameron Mills, the freshman, up at the bat, the righty. It's the first pitch, and that's going to be a strike. As Cam Mills having a pretty good season here in the varsity level, batting .375 in the early goings of this season. Another multi-sport athlete, as many of them are out there. There's the pitch, and that's going to be strike 2. As Cam falls behind in the count, 0-2. Barbario taking wouldn't say a little bit of a lead over there at first base. As Cam now awaits, and that ball's going to be outside, works the count to 1-2. Welcome back, folks, as we come here to the top of the 3rd inning. Getting back to the top of the lineup for the Riverside Panthers, and Sean Hayes takes the first pitch off the left hip. He's going to be awarded first base. Hit batter by Willie Nardone. Not how you want to start off this 3rd inning, getting that first runner on, especially when you're at the top of the order, because you got the meat of the order coming up. Here comes John Bowser. Bowser, the right fielder. Going to try to lay down a bunt, and if I recall, he did that in the first inning as well to get Hayes to second base. So now Bowser. This time he holds up on his swing. That first pitch was considered a strike. So, yep, there it is, 1-1, as Hayes takes his lead from first. Pitch just a little bit high from Nardone. Now 2-1. As Bowser, there's going to be into the gap, and that's going to go all the way to the wall as Bowser rounds second. Here comes Hayes from third on his way home. He slides in, no throw at the plate because he's going to be safe. And John Bowser gets the double and the RBI, making the score 3-0 for the Riverside Panthers.
Yeah, good contact there by the Panthers. Battings at the bats, and well, you continue that lead, making it now 3-0.
Yep, and Bowser kind of hit that into no man's land. You kind of knew when it left the bat, the left fielder and right fielder for the Wolverines were not going to catch it. Now, Hunter Garvin, I said it in the first at bat, batting .750 on the season. Now got a duck in the pond at second base. And Nardone's first pitch is going to be high. Garvin, the lefty, awaits the pitch from Nardone. Calls for time. Give Nardone a chance to reset. As we sit here, top of the third, Riverside leading 3-0. There's the pitch. And a good block by Keller to keep that ball in front of him. And they keep Bowser there at second base. Garvin, as many of you know, his dad, I saw him earlier. I didn't know what color he'd be wearing. He's one of the principals there at Ellwood City. I didn't know if he'd be wearing the blue or the green, and he went with the neutral colors. There's the pitch from Nardone, and that's going to be low, so the count goes to 3-0 for Nardone, not the third inning he was looking for. So Mr. Garvin, one of the great people who works here at Ellwood City, his son Hunter, up to bat right now. And he said it was his lumberjack look, so. And that's going to be ball 4. Walks Hunter Garvin on 4 pitches. And gets a runner on first and second base for Nardone. Nardone in this inning has yet to record an out, has met 3 batters. Gave up a hit batter to Sean Hayes with the hit by pitch. Hayes coming around to score on the double by Bowser, and then Garvin draws the walk. And now Zach Hare on the bump tonight, but he's in the batter's box right now. Waves and misses at the first one for a strike. Zach Hare batting .421. He made Nardone pay for a pitch last time at bat. This time goes outside. Nardone does not want to give him the pitch he gave him that time. Because you remember back in that first inning, Brad, Hare took it deep over the left field wall. Probably the Thad Sturgeon stat cast about 340 feet.
Yeah, you want to be patient here, but you got 2 runners on first and second.
There's the pitch, and this time Hare goes to center field. And coming in to make the catch, runner tags at second. Bowser's going to find his way to third as Hunter Garvin stays there at first, almost tempting to try to run to second base. So a deep fly out for Hare to get the first out as he flew out to the center fielder, Michael Cuevas. And now up to bat is Christian Lucarelli. Lucarelli batting .444. Boy, if you're a pitcher in the top of this lineup pitching this team, Brad, it's just one right after another.
It is.
Lucarelli, the righty. Fake pickoff attempt there by Nardone. He comes to the plate quickly. Ball's going to be just a bit outside for ball 1. Lucarelli awaits, and that's going to be sharply hit foul. Out of bounds. See if that car has a car alarm. Don't hear it. Must not. So the pitch now is 1-1. Nardone. Is Nardone maybe, did he get the strike on that one?
He did.
Yes, he did.
And that's that off-speed pitch, kind of like a changeup that just drops in, caught the corner.
Yes, it did. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lucarelli. Nardone trying to get out of this inning. Give up 1 run so far. Got a runner on first and third. 1 out. Pitch to Lucarelli is a ball blocked there by Keller. Gets the count to 2-2. Nardone. 2-2 pitch. Going to be outside, 3-2. Dangerous pitch here coming up for Will Nardone. He does not want to give him something to hit, but he don't want to load the bases with a walk. On the 3-2 pitch, 1 out. Runners at first and third. Here's the pitch, and down the first base line. Picked up there. Can he go home? And he's going to be safe at home. They get the out at first. But John Bowser alertly at third base, waited a second, and then came home.
Yeah,
as Carlo Nardone was able to take that out at first base unassisted, but unable to make the throw.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nardone's got to realize there, you tag the base, you got to throw home. That run's coming home.
Yes, he did. I think he got a little bit. But and on the play, Hunter Garvin goes to second.
Yep.
And now Drake Fox at the plate. Pitch catches the inside corner. 0-1. Fox standing about halfway in the batter's box. He waits the pitch. Nardone wants him to go through the signs again, and the umpire asks for some time. Fox steps back in the box. That pitch is going to be way outside. Nice play there by Keller to keep it in the glove. 1-1 now. Where are we at for Nardone's pitches, Brad?
Yeah, he's starting to get up
Afraid
there.
they're creeping up there in this third inning.
51 coming to 52 right here.
Here's the pitch by Nardone. And ball gets away from Keller. And Hunter Garvin maybe could have made an attempt for it, but with 2 outs, I think he wisely goes back to second base.
Yeah, and you know it, that any base hit here out of the infield, you're sitting at second, you're scoring.
Yep.
So no reason to risk it, especially when you're up 4-0. This could be 5 real fast.
Yes, it could, as Fox now sitting there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nardone with the pitch. And, big cut there by Fox, but he comes up empty, makes the count 2-2. Waits the pitch, and that's all way outside, pass ball, and Garvin that time easily gets to third base. As the ball went to the backstop, Keller gave chase. So now it's a 3-2 pitch with a runner on third base. There is 2 outs. Nardone got ahead in this count. Fox was able to work it back. Here's the pitch by Nardone, and that's going to be hit. Just
so
foul.
Close.
The third base umpire was right there.
Yep.
And
if you're Nardone
it's
now.
foul ball.
Yeah.
So,
foul ball by maybe a foot. If
not
that,
by
if
much
that.
from my vantage point.
If you're Nardone right now, you're trying to pitch around Drake. You don't mind walking him. You do not want any contact, because any contact could easily score that run. On the same token, if you walk him, it's not that big of a deal because you can get a force out anywhere, but this is a crucial pitch.
Yep, 3-2 pitch, 2 outs. There's the pitch, and that's going to be outside, and Fox draws the walk. As I believe that's Will Nardone's second walk of the game in 3 innings pitched. And now up to the plate is number 28, Jackson Barber. Barber batting .133.
He did have a hit already, though, in
yes,
this game.
Yes, he took that infield hit. As Nardone looks in for Jordan Keller to get the sign. Here's the pitch. That's going to be inside and a little bit high. 1-0 as Nardone's pitching to Jackson Barber. Calls for some time. Here's the pitch by Nardone. Another pitch inside. So Barber looks down to Coach Ole Astro. And Jordan Keller wants to go down and just have a little conversation with senior Will Nardone as he's behind in the count 2-0. Don't forget, folks, May 2nd, I didn't approve this with producer Brad yet, but it's the annual red carpet.
Oh, boy.
Prom night at Ellwood City, and we will bring you live coverage of the red carpet leading into the promenade at the auditorium. Get your tickets now for that promenade. And Nardone's pitch, and that's going to be a strike. And get our YouTube channel ready to go, as we will have all the glitz and glam of prom night. Nardone now up 2-1. There's a hit, and that's over the head. Hit hard by Barber, and Garvin's going to come in to score easily from third, making the score 5-0. Top of the third here in favor of the Riverside Panthers. I would say good at bat there for Barber. kind of worked the count, got behind the count, got some pitches that were way out.
And you said what, batting
133.
And he's 2 for 2.
Yeah, and 2 for 2 tonight, so gets his second hit and got a little more air underneath that one, got it over to the top of the shortstop and third baseman's head.
Yep.
And
so
I think that's going to be the book.
Yep. So Thad, what we'll do is we'll take a timeout and break here as we'll have a stoppage in the action. New pitcher for the Wolverines. We'll talk about it next. Top of the third, 2 outs. Riverside cruising now, 5-0. All right, folks, welcome back here. Top of the third, 2 outs. Runners at second and third, 5-0 Riverside. New pitcher on the mound, that'll be Nate Kennedy. He'll slide from second base. Gino Biondi will kill the DH.
Oh, there's a hit.
Wow.
Drive
and that is rocketed.
Deep. And hits the base of the wall. And speedy. Dylan Meyer around in second. He's on his way to third.
A triple.
Triple.
Wow.
And scoring on that is Jackson Barber. First pitch tattooed to deep left center field. Hit the base of the wall for Dylan Meyer. He gets a triple. That makes the score now 6-0. 7-0.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Here's
was
a pitch
deep.
from Kennedy. And that's going to be hit down to the shortstop. Aaron Lake, he fumbles the ball, and getting on base is Logan Young. The wheels are falling off here for the Wolverines in this third inning as they've given up 6 runs. As on that play, Dylan Meyer scores. And wow, 2 pitches and 2 hits off of Nate Kennedy. And 2-run score. And then things don't get any better because we're back to the top of the lineup for the Riverside Panthers as Sean Hayes comes to bat. That's going to be hit high in the air. Right fielder for the Wolverines coming in, and he makes the catch to get out of the inning. As Sam Landis is out there in right field to make the catch. So Nate Kennedy, 3 pitches, but give up 2 hits.
Yeah,
got 1 out.
Finish the inning, but not before a big 6 is up on that board. We'll take a timeout, folks. It's 8-0 Riverside here, going to the bottom of the third.
Welcome back, folks, as we come to the bottom of the third. Wolverines find themselves down 8-0. And up to the plate. Here's the pitch from Hare. And a swing and a miss by number 13, Sam Landis. Really the only base runner for the Wolverines so far tonight was a walk, a rare walk given up to Will Nardone from Zach Hare. Coming out here at the bottom of the third. Starting off 0-1, and that's going to be a foul ball off of Sam Landis, the right fielder.
Sam is the one and only lefty batting-wise for the Wolverines, and so far this year, that's what's helped them a lot. A lot of people don't realize that righty versus lefty, it can cause havoc.
Yes, it can. Sam's going to be playing ball next year.
Yep.
At Waynesburg.
Yes.
University.
Waynesburg.
Saw his signing there.
The Yellow Jackets.
In the last week or two. Landis back into the batter's box. Lefty. Waits for the pitch from Hare. 0-2 count. Hare with the pitch, reaches back and gets the strikeout for Zach Hare. That's going to be his fourth strikeout of the game, going through 2 1/3 innings. Now up to bat is Michael Cuevas. Michael, we saw him on hardwood basketball court. Led the Wolverines in three-pointers this year. Now he finds himself on the baseball diamond. First pitch, swing and a miss. As Hare's really settled in to the zone right now. Working quickly and efficiently. Heading this count 0-1. That ball is going to be high and outside. Count goes now to 1-1. Cooling down a little bit here at the stadium. There's the pitch, and going to be in low and inside. So Cuevas gets the count to 2-1. Nobody on base. One out here in the bottom of the third. Hare's third pitch is going to be outside this time. And in this at bat, he's kind of worked inside, outside. And Cuevas has been patient at the plate. We're going to count to 3-1. Now Hare with the pitch. And catches that right corner, getting the count full to 3-2. Hare's pitch to Cuevas. Reaches back. That's going to be a foul ball. Going to be back out of play to the right. So as we sit here at the bottom of the third inning, Panthers up 8-0. But am I reading that right out there? 5 hits so far?
Yep. 5 hits and 1 error on Ellwood.
Pitch by Hare. And another foul ball hit hard out toward the tool shed to the right.
We're slowly getting there. We're getting a little closer.
Yes, we are.
Field of play.
I think Cuevas just got to get caught up a little bit. We'll see if Hare comes this time with something maybe a little off speed. I don't know if he throws much off speed. I think it's just rear that right arm back and throw. 3-2 pitch. And that ball's going to be slicing out of bounds foul. Falling out there by the tool shed. As John Bowser, the right fielder, gave chase. Yeah. First baseman Garvin was out there, but pretty lot of territory for them to run to get that ball.
Hare does feature a curveball at 77, so it's not much of a drop-off when it comes to the plate. He does clock in with his fastball right around 91, so.
And I have a feeling we might see that now on this 3-2 pitch. Here's the pitch, and down the middle it goes. Strike him out as Michael Cuevas walks back. Cuevas fought off like 3 foul balls there, but that time just watched it go right past him. Another K goes in the books for Zach Hare.
You said it. Nobody on base. We're in the third inning. We're getting close to halfway mark, and that's just the first time through the lineup. We're back to the top for Ellwood.
Yes, we are. So back to the lineup, John Biscup.
Apologies, Jacob.
Oh, Jacob.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I knew that.
I did the same thing.
Okay.
I did the same thing.
So Jacob Biscup now. Biscup. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch, swing and a miss. A little mustard on that one. Came across the plate. Now 1-1. After this pitch, we'll see what happens as Biscup awaits the 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be down the middle for strike 2. Have you noticed the shortstop out there still has his sunglasses on? Are you getting that reflection off of him?
That's what I'm wondering.
I'm surprised that they're letting him do that because it's almost like distracting. And if that was in the batter's eye, I think he'd be asked to take them off. It's fun under the lights.
I'm
really
getting caught by all the vehicles out in center field.
So the 1-2 pitch by Hare, 2 outs here, bottom of the third. Biscup awaits. And that's going to be chopped down to third base. Stopped there by the shortstop. But Biscup's going to find his way and get the first hit of the night for the Wolverines.
That's big.
That is big as third baseman Drake Fox tried to snag that sharply hit ball, kind of knocked it down, slowed it down, and shortstop Dylan Meyer was there, but the speedy Biscup found his way down, no throw. He's going to get the first hit.
You got to start somewhere, and a base hit, yes, it's with 2 outs, but you never know. Nate Kennedy can get something in the center field, left or right gap here. That could get some trouble.
Yep, Nate Kennedy, who took over pitching, throws over to first, and Biscup finds his way back quite easily.
And that is speed on first base there. Biscup will still, if granted.
Here's the pitch from Hare. And that's going to be a ball, as Biscup does have 1 stolen base on the year in the early goings of this season. And now Nate Kennedy awaits the 1-0 pitch. Hare rears back, throws it, going to be a bit low and inside. We're going to count to 2-0. Hare now. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a strike on the right side part of the plate. It's the first strike at bat here with Nate Kennedy. We're going to count to 2-1. You don't want to forget about Jacob Biscup over there in first base, and throws over there, and Biscup gets back in plenty of time. As Kennedy takes the feed in, and that's going to be a strike. Looked like it was coming in high. Kind of dropped curve down in there to get across the plate. Now 2-2, 2 outs. We'll see if Biscup runs on this play. As Nate Kennedy awaits the pitch, he is running. High throw, throws it down there, and it's going to be a stolen base for Jacob Biscup. It's the runner to second base. You had that 2-2 pitch, Brad. I just kind of had a feeling that we'd see Biscup taking off.
Yeah, because worst case scenario, it's a strikeout in the end of the inning. If not, you get contact. Field of play, you're running. That could be a run, and now any contact.
And that's one of the keys, Brad. That was a ball thrown. So now you work the count to full 3-2. Nate Kennedy, and they're going to want to talk about things here a little bit, as Sean Hayes wants to go out.
That'll give you some time. Ellwood City will be back in action next week. It'll be Stowe Rocks. We'll figure out that all the times and dates. It's changes left and right, and it's supposed to rain a lot over the weekend into next week, so we'll see. But Stowe Rocks is next for Ellwood.
So Nate Kennedy on the 3-2 pitch. Awaits from Zach Hare. And he swings and misses. Zach Hare works himself out of the first time tonight with runners on base, and he gets them struck out at the end of 3. It is 8-0. Welcome back, folks, as we start the 4th inning here. Wolverines down 8-0 in this section matchup. Brad, we didn't say it enough yet. We certainly want to thank the great people here at Slippery Rock College for making us feel welcome here tonight. Beautiful field, everything's set, ready to go. And
Tyler McIntosh.
Tyler McIntosh, shout out to him. So we certainly do thank him. Give these guys a chance to play on turf underneath the lights at a college stadium. First pitch by Nate Kennedy is high and to the right, 1-0. And at bat is, Brad, help me out. Sorry.
Get the number here in a second.
Should number be 26, yes.
Yep.
As John Bowser.
I've been waiting to say the power of Bowser.
Yep. He's down in the count, 0-2. As Nate Kennedy's pitch is going to be bounced up there. Hits the backstop. So had a little problem on the release point there to Nate Kennedy on that one. On the 1-2 pitch to Bowser. And, he chopped it that one. That would have probably been a ball, but he reached out there, tried to get contact. Finds its way to the netting down to our right.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say, Thad, this is only the second game of the year for Ellwood where they've had a turf mound. Neshannock was the other one.
So the 1-2 pitch by Kennedy, who came in with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. And he throws a ball up there.
Yeah, the book will close on Nardone. He will count basically for pretty much, I want to say it's 7 runs. We'll
there was an error in there, so he's going to throw one of them off.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a pitch, and straight back toward us. Hit the netting, foul ball. Bowser fouling off the last 2 pitches. Hunter Garvin comes out of the on-deck circle, gives chase. Politely gives the ball back to the official. Now the 2-2 pitch from Kennedy. Awaits. And ducking out of the way was Bowser over his head. Going to work the count full, 3-2. Bowser awaits the pitch, the 3-2 pitch. Got the full count. Kennedy kind of waiting to go through the signs, gets him. Rears back, throws, and Baltimore hop, and it gets taken there by Lake. Throws across to Nardone to get the out. Bowser was running hard down the line as the ball hit right in front of the pitcher's mound. I don't know if that's the traditional Baltimore hop, but I want to try to get that in there. I only do about, this is my first game ever, and I thought that'd be really cool to try to get in. And
One for
see
one.
How I did, see how I did that?
I did see.
I don't even know if that was a Baltimore hop or not, but
Sure, we'll go
I heard
with
Lanny
it.
Terry say it back in the day.
I'm not going to deny it.
Oh, good. So
You got
one
my
out.
approval.
Hunter Garvin, the lefty, up to bat, and that ball's going to be outside, 1-0. I'm sure my inbox will be filled on what a Baltimore hop is. There's a hit by Garvin up the left side this time, taken by third baseman, bobbles it, and Garvin's going to get on base via the error as Cameron Mills unable to make the play. That's one thing about the Wolverines, Brad, and the 21 pages of information you sent me this morning. 15 errors on the season, and that's probably more than what you would like to see when you compare that to Riverside coming in. Coach Oleastro and that team, not working with them on the fielding. They've only given up 7 errors so far this season.
Errors can come back to bite you just like walks.
Yep, and Zach Hare now up to bat with Garvin on first base. First pitch is outside to the right. No, it was a strike. I'm sorry.
Yep. It's 0-1 count here.
As Hare, so we know he's been at bat twice so far tonight. His second at bat, he took to deep center field. The first at bat went over that left field wall for a home run. And this time chases a ball. Going to be strike 2. Finds the count now 1-2. Remember, 1 out here in this 4th inning. Garvin sitting there on first base. There's pitch. Caught the inside corner. Has struck him out. Nate Kennedy gets his first strikeout of the game. And a nice at-bat pitching-wise there for Nate Kennedy. But don't look now. Here comes Christian Lucarelli up to the plate. All right, he waits the pitch, and that's going to be outside for ball 1. Just kind of need these Wolverines, this tough hill to climb. They need that kind of quick inning. Can Nate Kennedy get it done? There's a pitch to Lucarelli, and that's going to be a strike. Now 1-1. Pitch by Kennedy is going to be outside. It looks to me at this at-bat, just 3 pitches so far. Nate Kennedy's not wanting anything inside.
Yep.
Going to keep everything on the outer part of the plate. You see Keller setting up there again this time, and this time does not get the corner.
Well, you wouldn't mind jamming him, but to jam Lucarelli on the inside pitch, that's going to go to left field real fast.
Yeah, it might go a long way.
Yep.
So you count 3-1. See what Lucarelli can do with this. And he tattoos it to center field, but not far enough, as Michael Cuevas was right there to make the catch. So after 3.5, it's the Riverside Panthers 8, Ellwood City 0. Welcome back, folks, as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning here. As Zach Hare's pitching a one-hitter to this point in the game. First pitch to start off that fourth inning is going to be a ball, as up to bat is Jordan Keller. Keller grounded out shortstop in the first inning. Second pitch of this at bat takes his second ball. Here's Hare. 2-0 pitch, and that's going to be a strike on the outside corner of the plate. You know, Brad, this Riverside team, 8 seniors on this team, and 5 of them returning starters. And a lot of them have been playing baseball and getting on the starting lineup for a number of years. There's a pitch as Keller swings and misses to take the count to 2-2.
Very methodical pitching so far. 54 pitch, well, that's 55 pitches in the fourth inning. You're averaging just over 10.
And here's the 2-2 pitch, and there's going to be a hit by Jordan
drop.
Keller, and well played there by left fielder Young.
Good catch.
Stayed with that ball to get the long out for Jordan Keller.
That was John Bowser in right field.
John Bowser, I'm sorry.
Yep, you're okay. Listen, it's left and right.
I got the left and right.
Put up the L's.
The dyslexia of my fancy little wristband that I have as a cheat sheet. And I read from top to bottom, not
upside down.
Yeah, that's what it was. So now up to bat is Aaron Lake. His hair throws a little bit low. First game I ever did. Did you ever go back and listen to the first basketball and football game I ever did?
That's for another story.
Why would anybody listen to that?
That is for another story.
Lake had to count 1-0. Calls for time. And the umpire, and I asked you his name. I didn't get his name, but this guy does football, basketball. I don't know if he has another full-time job because he officiates everything. Hare's second pitch, and that's going to be. Looks back in for the sign. Here's pitch, and a swing and a miss by Aaron Lake. Bottom fell right out of that pitch, and Aaron Lake had nothing he can do with it except swing. Here now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was a foul tip in there, I do believe. So 6 strikeouts for Hare unofficially as we sit here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Next up, Will Nardone. And that's going to be a bit inside. Nardone started the game pitching, went 2 2/3 innings, and then was relieved by Nate Kennedy. And Will then took over the duties at first base. Here's Hare with 2 outs. The pitch off the plate.
Yeah, just missing apparently there.
So, or 2-1. I beg your pardon. Hare with the pitch, and that caught the corner. There's the 2-2. Eight to 0 in favor of the Panthers. On the 2-2 pitch from Hare. And that's going to be low. Working a count full, 3-2. You know, Brad, you said there, I think it was last inning, how Hare has been efficient, but it's happened several times now where he's taken the count to 3-2. It's not hurt him. He's only got the 1 walk and all the strikeouts, but the Wolverine hitters have been able to take the count to 3-2, and there's the strikeout.
Now, that's also unfortunate for the Wolverines. Kind of being patient. You may say he may be being too patient on this one.
And on that one, Nardone was unable to catch it. 8-0, bottom of the 5th, top of the 6th forthcoming. Welcome back, folks, as we start the 5th inning. I misspoke there as we finish that one, but Nate Kennedy up there on the mound. Came in with 2 outs in the 3rd. As Drake Fox is at the plate. Drew a walk there and came around and scored. And there's a swing and a miss by Fox.
And that was the opposite of being patient. That is swinging for the fences.
Yes, it was.
Which you can do when you're up 8-0.
And there's a hit down to 3rd base. Cam Mills corrals, throws across the diamond, and a good throw.
Yeah.
And Nardone on the receiving end of that and gets Fox for the first out of this 5th inning.
I know it's 8-0, but right now it's pretty much 1 inning. 1 inning and 1 pitch for a home run. That's the difference.
It really is. Them couple errors by the Wolverines, maybe not affecting the outcome of the game to this point.
Mental errors, too.
Yep, and that as well. Now, Jackson Barber up, swings and misses. And it was tough for Nate Kennedy to come in, not really off the bullpen per se, but he gave up first 2 pitches. Gave up that triple. There's strike 2.
Yeah, it's always
Kennedy to Jackson Barber.
Every once in a while, it's pretty hard to come into a game midway through. Runners on.
That being said, he got that 3rd out in the 3rd inning, and has pitched pretty solid here in the 4th, and so far here in the 5th. There's going to be a foul ball going to
right field.
Right field. I was going to call it the tool shed. So
it is the tool shed and the bullpen.
So Kennedy ahead in the count, 0-2, 1 out here, top of the 5th inning. There's going to be another foul ball to the right. I think that one did make the parking lot.
Favorite part of this ballpark is the bleacher stands. You can hear every single time there's a foul ball, 3 or 4 kids heading out to the parking lot to get it. If you get it, it's yours.
So the 0-2 pitch, that's going to be outside. So 1-2 now on Jackson Barber. Jackson Barber, if you remember, came in, or it was played the whole game, obviously, but got that triple. And he swings and misses, strikes out there. So Nate Kennedy gets his first strikeout of the game.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a product of seeing a different pitcher come up to the plate. Just the mechanics on the mound may be a little bit different.
Well, he hit the triple off of Kennedy.
That's true.
Last time. So.
True.
So now up to the plate. Got an RBI. He got the triple. I'm sorry. It's Dylan Meyer.
It does help with the bases kind of being cleared right now.
Yes, it does. Meyer waits, and Going to work the count to 1-1. As Kennedy now sets in, throws the pitch, and that's going to be outside pass ball. So the count now 2-1. As Kennedy looks into Keller for the sign. There's the pitch. Another foul ball. Back off to the right. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Meyer waits the pitch and soft tapper down first base. And Nardone just gets to the bag to record the out. Unassisted for Nardone. Meyer makes the 3rd out. So the first 1-2-3 inning of the night for the Wolverines comes in the 5th. Coming up, we'll have the bottom of the 5th inning. Ellwood City coming to bat. Welcome back, folks, as we come here to the bottom of the 5th inning. Wolverines just sitting there with 1 hit so far tonight as Zach Hare's pitching a pretty good ball game. And offensively, they're doing what they do as he starts off the bottom of the 5th. As Cam Mills comes to the plate. Mills struck out off of Hare in the 2nd inning. Starts off this at bat with a ball. Second pitch from Hare. Rare's back. Down the middle it is for a strike. Now 1-1. As Mills, the freshman, awaits the pitch. And swings and misses. As the bottom fell out of that ball. Now 1-2. That's the pitch from Hare, and that's going to be strike 3. Second strikeout of the night for Cam Mills. I think that's 8 strikeouts now for Zach Hare. I think it's kind of Riverside up 8-0. You can talk about the Wolverines pitching, but they've only given up 5 hits. First pitch to Gino Biondi is outside. But of those 5 hits, you had a 2-run home run and a RBI triple mixed in there too.
They've been hard contact to outfield, maybe 1 or 2 in the infield area.
Second pitch to Biondi is going to be a ball.
We talk about it each and every day, every game that we call. Walks and errors can come back to haunt you.
Well, you give a team 4 outs in an inning at any level, it could hurt you. 1-1 pitch from Hare, and that's going to be a foul ball back over our heads. And you're right, Brad. You hear them kids running. That's just I tell you what, I mean, you want to go watch high school games, but I wouldn't be afraid to get this. I've never been to this stadium before.
It's amazing.
And
it's
if
amazing. There's a good view
go on
all
the
way
website,
around.
check out the Slippery Rock website, come up, see some college ball. Here's the pitch to Biondi, and
you
that's
go.
going to be up the middle of the right side, and Biondi's going to get us his first hit of the game as he just hit that ball out of the outstretched arms of second baseman.
Tell you what,
Nate,
Thad.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gino Biondi. He's been kind of the motor of this team per se. He does everything they ask, the little things, and he's kind of picked up that role, DHing second base, and that's a big contact
Well, you
hit.
come in there and you're batting .417. You're
That's
getting
big.
on base.
Yep.
So now Sam Landis, as you said, the only lefty in the lineup tonight for the Wolverines from Hare, and he pitches him inside. Sam gets out of the way of that one. Count goes to 1-0.
And the big thing is that this entire ballpark, tickets are free. You can walk right in here. And that's during Slippery Rock games.
There's a pitch, and it catches the outside corner of the plate, taking the count to 1-1.
We came in during that second doubleheader. It was extra inning game. Just waltz right in.
So Landis now calls for time. Gino Biondi, kind of keep an eye over there. He's not afraid to take a little bit longer lead.
Yeah, another one of those freshmen for the Wolverines.
And he's got 2 stolen bases on the year. And one of the coaches now.
This is what I was waiting for. I was waiting to see our first little glitch. They have pitching comms from the catcher to the pitcher to the dugout, and unfortunately, it looks like the pitcher comm, maybe the battery maybe went bad or something. So they have to check and hear if they can hear everything. Yeah, you got to make sure those are charged. That's a big task. You got to make sure that the pitching comms are all charged
That's
properly.
new to me. I didn't know we
That is brand new just a year ago. Yep. Just a year ago.
Wow, the technology.
Oh, it's insane.
Next thing you know, they'll have, what do they call these new bats? The pitch to Landis.
Something like a torpedo.
Torpedo, that's the word I was looking for. So,
Thank you, Yankees.
no one would care if the Yankees weren't the ones using it. I hate to say it. 2-1 pitch here from Hare. Rare's back. Biondi's running, and he's going to be safe as the throw down was a little bit to the right side of second base. And Biondi gets his third stolen base of the year. So runner in scoring position, just 1 out now, Brad. As Sam Landis got a runner 180 feet away. From getting the first run of the Wolverines tonight. Biondi out there dancing once again. And Harris looking him down. Looks to the home plate, throws it in there. And that's going to be a ball. So, once again, another full count. We've seen that a little bit more here in these latter innings from Hare. As Landis now. What's he think Hare's going to throw at him on this 3-2 pitch? 1 out, runner on second base. Swing and a miss. Sam Landis couldn't catch that one. Another K for Zach Hare. Now Michael Cuevas coming up to the plate. And the catcher, Sean Hay, is going to go out and have a word with Hare.
Again, folks, April 10th. That's a big one there, the autism awareness against Shenango, 4:30. That is now a home game. That was scheduled away. It is home. Autism awareness for the Lawrence County Autism Warriors.
And T-shirts are still on sale. Where do you get them shirts at?
There is a link on the EC Baseball Boosters website.
Check that out,
Yep.
that link. Here's the pitch from Hare. And
Oh,
Cuevas, that's going to drop in there between shortstop and left field. And coming home is Biondi, and he gets the first run for the Wolverines as Michael Cuevas takes it to shallow left field and brings Biondi home from second. Situation where that stolen base by Biondi paid off. So Cuevas just gets the third hit of the night for the Wolverines.
That only takes 2 base hits or 2 swings of the bats to get those runs. That's big.
Yep. And now Jacob Biscup.
Keep it going.
And the pitch is going to be outside.
And folks, that's Riverside's maybe 8th run given up this year? I think it's 8. Wow, that's insane.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We'll count here the pitches for Hare. As we're in. There's Cuevas going to run this time. The throw down there, and he's going to be safe. 2 stolen bases in this inning.
And a 2-0 count as well now on Biscup, so that's big.
As Cuevas took off there, I believe that is his first stolen base of the season. So Biscup now with a runner in scoring position on second base, 2 outs, ahead in the count, 2-0. The pitch from Zach Hare. And that's going to be a strike.
Yeah, I wonder if Biscup was kind of holding back on that one to see if we can get the 3-0 here. Pitch drops in by Hare.
So the 2-1 pitch by Hare. And that's going to be a dribbler up to Hare. Comes off the mound, throws to first base to record the 3rd out of the inning. Wolverines get a couple hits, couple stolen bases, and a run to make the score 8-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Welcome back, folks. Wolverines find themselves down 8-1. 5 hits for Riverside, 3 hits for the Wolverines, 2 errors. Brady, we should have probably started the broadcast off with Coach Ollie Astro. 81 years old, been coaching here 57 years. Standing down there at third base, coaching box. There's a pitch by Nardone. Starts it off with a strike.
And Thad, to add to that, Riverside was basically founded in 1960-61. So that's just 60-some years.
Yeah. So There's a high
pop fly.
pop fly. It's going to be taken air by number 2 of the Wolverines, Gino Biondi.
So it does help when you have pretty much one head coach for almost your entire high school career.
He won the state championship 2 years ago, runner-up Whippules last year.
Yep. Avonworth, those antelopes.
There's from Kennedy. Now back to the top of the lineup is Sean Hayes. He's been hit by a pitch, and flew out to right field earlier in the game. So Hayes, the catcher, in the batter's box, and that's going to be fouled off the end of the bat. Finds its way down toward the tool shed. I like how the umpire just pointed to the dugout and said, somebody else go chase that ball. So Nate Kennedy ahead in the count 1-2. Throws hard, but going to be a little bit high and outside. We're going to count to 2-2. Pitch from Kennedy. High fly ball. I think it's going to stay in play. First baseman Nardone makes the catch. Nice play by Nardone to pick that. Got a lot of lights going on here and was able to get that ball. So Kennedy now, if we recall, Brad,
just
kept Riverside to a 1-2-3 fifth inning.
Yep, just crossed over 40 pitches. He can go the rest of the way for the Wolverines.
As John Bowser now in the righty. Pitched a little bit high. We're going to count to 1-0. Kenny's second pitch going to be outside, 2-0. Next pitch from Kennedy. That's going to be fouled down toward the Riverside bullpen on the right side. Bowser now waits the pitch. And swing and fouled. Straight back. Gets the count to 2-2. Nate Kennedy, the junior, as you said, we were off air, Brad. Kennedy and his counterpart, Jordan Keller, doing the catching, are pretty good members of our golf team.
Yep.
Here at Ellwood City. 2-2 pitch from Kennedy. This will be a high fly ball, trailing foul. Hits the top of the tool shed. Ball falls back into the field of play.
Yeah, that golf team, they're going to be ready to go again next year. That Sam Barry, who's actually the head coach here, he's actually here in attendance.
Yeah, I saw Sam here.
That golf team is something else. You know, breaking undefeated season all the way back to 1979. Wow.
A lot of returning players on that.
Yep.
On that squad. Asking for time was Bowser. On this 2-2 pitch. That ball is going to be hit high and long way down right field line. You're going to be caught there by the right fielder, Sam Landis of the Wolverines.
All right, folks, welcome back here. Bottom the sixth inning. It's 8-1 in favor of Riverside. Ellwood bats got to get going. Up first will be Nate Kennedy. Again, folks, a lot of Ellwood City sports going on. We'll talk about it in this inning here. A little update there was softball's first section game today was postponed, so that got bumped back. First pitch there, a little bit up high for ball one. Tennis section singles are in the books for Ellwood. They're in the second round next week. Unfortunately, both individuals for Ellwood did not advance past to the finals, but we'll get some updates and some results there. They did win a couple matches. They're 2-2 on, or 1-3 on the season. They'll be back into section play this upcoming week as well. 1-1 pitch here from Hare. Outside corner makes the count 2-1. Track and field back in action as well next week. They're 2-2 on the young season. Both teams there competing. It's the track and field this year is a lot more balanced than what we've seen in the past. The front runner being Shenango, and actually Riverside not too far behind this year.
No, but you mentioned them teams, Shenango and Riverside, loaded up pretty hard on track.
Yes, yes they are.
But don't sleep on Ellwood.
Yep, don't sleep on Ellwood.
They got some athletes there doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
They took on Mohawk and Beaver Falls here this past week.
Yep, split there, and then they split, I believe it was Riverside and Union.
Yes.
So 3-1 pitch here from Hare. Down low, and there's your tough first at-bat of the inning. A walk there to Kennedy, and that'll plate the Kennedy at first, and that'll bring up the middle of this lineup, the battery between Keller and Lake on deck. I always feel like Keller and Lake, that needs to be like a law firm or some kind of song group. So Kennedy up first. Here's the pitch.
Hits him.
Yeah, that hit the inside shoulder there. He did turn just enough. Keller will walk it off, and now first and second, and a little bit of some bases here being occupied by the Wolverines.
And you had said there between innings that Zach here was sitting there, 87, 88 pitches?
80-some pitches, so the book may be closing soon, and I know if that's the case, Garvin, I want to say, in center field will probably be taking over here soon. Looks like they'll stay with Hare for now. This will give some time to Keller and company here. I'm wondering if that pitch, yeah, that's what I wondered. The pitch came back and hit the umpire. So our athletic trainer, Mr. Miller, Jacob Miller, or Josh Miller. Is it Jacob or Josh? I think it's
Jacob.
Jacob. Man, I'm going to get messed up on John, Josh, and Jacob. Heimerschmidt.
There's another law firm for you. So.
And talk about law firms. We do appreciate Morella and
nice,
right?
Smooth.
Unfortunately,
not enough O's and smooth for that one, buddy.
Here's the bad thing. I'm only going to get half of it because I unfortunately only know Morella, but we do appreciate Matt Morella and company there joining the team, sponsoring our games throughout the year, and helping us out, making things happen, especially during the basketball season that just finished. Some great stuff at Winter Sports. All right, so first and second, back in action here. Hare's still on the mound, and here you go, folks. The big bat here, Aaron Lake. He had a home run last year. We'll see if he can. I don't know about home runs right now, but we just need something in the field of play. Fortunately there, check swing. I don't think it would have mattered if he swung or not. That first pitch drops in for no one count. Sometime throughout the year, we'll talk about the pitch limits. They do change when you get close to the playoffs. You can go up to 105, but basically Zach Hare's getting real close to that 100 mark. You can start your last batter at 99, and you can finish him off. One pitch here. Drops in just a little high. Thought he may get the call there. Instead, he'll go to 2-1. First and second, 2-1 count here. This potentially could be a swing away opportunity for Lake. 2-1 pitch from Hare. Swing there, he misses. And now even the count now 2-2. Blake will have to choke up on the bat a little bit here, trying to just get anything in the field of play, preferably over second or shortstop's head. That could plate 2 runs easily. Time called there by Lake. Kennedy and Keller on the bases. Lake at the plate here. 2-2 count. Down low, just misses. And oh boy, we don't say it very often, but this is maybe the 3rd time in this game. 3-2 full count here. Difference is bases, first and second, are occupied. Three-two pitch here from Hare. Drops in, and they're going to say it's just high, so that's a walk. Wow. So that'll plate the bases loaded, first, second, and third, and that, nobody out. Wow.
Something ruined here now all of a sudden for the Wolverines.
And that pitch count's getting real close. He's at 99, so he could technically start this at bat. I think that's what they're going to check to make sure 99. Yep, that's what they were just confirming. We heard the number. So he's going to let him pitch. Wow. So he can start this pitcher. This will be his last pitching at bat here for Hare.
Cam Mills struck out 2 times so far tonight, so maybe that goes into the thinking of why you keep him in for that last batter.
I think this is Will Nardone here.
Oh, Will Nardone. I'm sorry.
First pitch drops down low, so from a 2-2 count, then a walk, and now 1-0. It's 3 pitches in a row for balls.
And the hit batter got one of them guys on base.
Batter, yeah. That small ball, no pun intended here, from Ellwood. Drops in, though, this time evens the count 1-1. As the Riverside fans kind of get a little antsy here, trying to will Hare through this inning. 1-1 count to Nardone. Up high, 2-1 count. And now all of a sudden it seems like the Wolverines, that patience is kind of taken over now. Hits batsman, a couple walks, and 2-1 count now to Nardone. 2-1 count. Down low in the dirt. Well, in the turf, I guess. 3-1 count. Nardone is on the book for the loss today if the Wolverines would lose. So this is a way to help himself out here. If he can get a base hit in any way or form, or just get on base in general.
No outs. Keep the inning alive.
No outs. 3-1 pitch here from Hare. Swing and a miss there. Makes the count full. This is go time for Willie Nardone. Wolverines willing on. Well, Will. 3-2 count from Hare. Down the dirt, and that will plate the runner.
Run home.
Yep, that'll make the score 8-2, and we will see our pitching change here, folks. Bases are loaded, nobody out, and we will take a quick little timeout.
Nate Kennedy came in to score on that walk.
Yep, Nate Kennedy came to score, so we'll take a quick little timeout as a pitching change. It's now 8-2. Ellwood coming back. All right, folks, welcome back here. We did have a pitching change coming in to relieve Zach Hare, who will officially take over first base. That is number 3, Hunter Garvin. He'll slide in from center field. Luke Relly slides from first to left field. And then second baseman slides from second base to center field. Center field goes to right field, and right field becomes into second base. So there's a lot of movement. Most importantly, Hunter Garvin on the mound.
The lefty, Hunter Garvin, pitching to Cameron Mills. First pitch strike. If you remember back to that game earlier this week, yes. Hunter Garvin faced 4 batters and struck out all 4 of them.
And this is what he's known for. He is known for the strike pitch. He will throw strikes and darts nonstop.
And the count now 0-1. And, Cam took a big cut. Ball was up and in. He could not connect. It's 0-2. Wolverines got the bases loaded. And they got the bases loaded without a hit, correct?
Yeah.
And a run. There's the pitch, strike 3. Hunter Garvin comes in from center field, throws 3 pitches and 3 strikes.
Yep.
Cam Mills looked at 2 of them.
If you think Luke Corelli and Hare's enough, I'll just throw a third one at you.
So Garvin, the senior, he's been kind of playing this save role since a freshman. Now Gino Biondi got one of the 3 Wolverines hits. Took a good cut that time. Ball went out of bounds, or out, sorry, out of the field of play.
Inbounds play.
So, I got to do more than 1 game a year.
Yes.
I think that's what we got to do. Biondi now.
Just wait for softball and flex. You don't even know what that is.
Nope.
Just
missed that pitch. No. Count 1-1.
This is where, as a catcher, you want to be very careful. Pitching change, it doesn't matter really who it is. If that ball comes in low, pass ball could be a big run here. Got to be careful.
And the pitch and that's going to be a low and outside by Garvin. Also, you got a lefty out there pitching too.
Yes,
that kind of changes things a little bit for your catcher.
Yep.
Wolverines now just that 1 out with a strikeout to Cam Mills. Still got the bases loaded. Down 8-2. Bottom of the 6th inning. Garvin. 3 pitches. The last 3, he came in, the first 3 pitches were strikes. Got another one to Gino Biondi. 3-1 count. Garvin sets with the pitch on the 3-1 count to Biondi. Biondi slicing foul to the tool shed. Just a little bit behind on that swing to keep it into play. So now works the count. The 3-2. Garvin surveys. It steps up on the rubber. Peers in for the sign on this big 3-2 pitch. 1 out, bases loaded. That's going to be fouled back. If you could tell that music guy up there, it's staying alive right now for Gino Biondi.
He is on it. He's just underneath of it, that's all.
And you really see the difference, that left-hand delivery on Garvin, the way he cocks that,
he's
back with that ball, and just kind of not a Kent Colby sidearm, but I'd call it a 3-quarter. And there's a
base hit
up the middle, over the top, into center field for Gino Biondi. Gets his second of the night. 1-run scores, 2-run score for the Wolverines. All of a sudden, folks, we get a ball game. It's 8-4. Gino Biondi with a drive into left center field. Drives in too as he gets Aaron Lake home along with Jordan Keller. Wolverines now sitting there with just 1 out, scoring 2 runs on 1 hit, and still got 2 people left on base.
Yep. Run there at third.
There at third base is Will Nardone.
Yep, that's another run. That can cut it to 8-5 real quick. Definitely making dramatic here.
Yes, you are. Now you got the left-handed Sam Landis coming up to the plate.
Yeah, this is going to get very intriguing. Lefty on lefty.
Yep. Biondi stole base in the first inning. First pitch by Garvin is a ball. And you're down by 4. You got a lefty-lefty situation on there. Biondi not taking a huge lead there at first base. There's the pitch and a swing, fouled it off by Landis.
Yeah, just a excuse me swing there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you'd almost like to have that swing back because now you're at 1-1. And a nice bit of hitting there by Gino Biondi. Working that count full, 3-2. Fouled off probably 2-3 pitches in that at bat. Now now Sam Landis waits the pitch. There's going to be a dribbler up to second base. They can't get to. A run's going to score. Yep. As Sam Landis gets the RBI, he gets thrown out at first. Will Nardone scores from third on the play.
Gets the job done.
And Gino Biondi stands there at second base. And that's the right play defensively.
Yeah.
If you're Riverside, go ahead and yield that run to get the out. Ball wasn't really hit hard enough in the speedy Gino Biondi to even think about getting to on that play. Now here's Michael Cuevas. Got an RBI with that hit to left field. And swing and a miss. Oh, trying to get back. And Gino Biondi was about halfway between second and third. And no second baseman or shortstop there to cover second. He wisely retrieved the second because the throw to third would have got him. Here's the pitch. Cuevas. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Behind in the count is Cuevas. Wolverines making some noise, scoring 4 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cuevas digs in the heels. And the ball is a ball thrown up there. And then catcher Hayes was quick to pick it up. 1-2 pitch here now coming from Hunter Garvin. And that's going to be a swing and a miss by Cuevas to end it. Hunter Garvin comes in save relief in that 6th inning, gives up a hit. Wolverines get 4 runs to make the score 8-5, top of the 7th coming up. Welcome back, folks. Wolverines making it a little bit more interesting. They had, 1 hit. Didn't get their first hit till the 4th inning. And there's the first pitch there by Nate Kennedy, who came on in the with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Pitched pretty well. Has held the high-powered offense of the Riverside Panthers scoreless the last 3 innings. There's going to be a foul ball straight back to us, but the net got it before I could catch it.
Just want to reach out there and grab it.
I was going. I mean, I was all in. My chair yoga was all stretched out. Boom, I was going to get it, but
good luck.
Thank you. So, as Hunter Garvin came in there. And that's going to be a count of 1 and 2. Hunter Garvin came in that last inning. Had the bases loaded. Made quick work of Cameron Mills. And the Wolverines were able to get a hit by Gino Biondi. And that's going to be a strike 3 as Nate Kennedy gets unofficially his second strikeout of the night. It's hard to believe we have an 8-5 game, 13 runs scored, and there's 9 hits in the game. So
Yep.
Zach Hare now, he went yard earlier in the game, and he's going to try doing it again.
Oh,
Hit
man.
that a long way for the right fielder to go.
Wow.
That's a home run down the right field line. That ball just carried. The wind's blowing from right to left, but it didn't stop that ball. Zach Hare, his second home run of the night. First one he took to left field.
Yeah,
this one he went to right field post. At first I wasn't sure if it was going to stay fair, but it was there. 9-5 in favor of the Riverside Panthers here.
And that puts a little jab into what Wolverines just did an inning ago. Wow.
Yes. And Kennedy was pitching really well.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of when he first came in, gave up a couple hits. Now, Lucarelli started the game at first base, playing left field, if I recall correctly. Now, he's back down 0-1. Now the pitch is 1-1. I mean, that's pretty good hitting by Hare to go opposite way. Ball probably on the unofficial Thad Sturgeon StatCast about 325 feet. That ball there by Nate Kennedy outside to the right.
Well, the center field, left field home run probably was about 350, 360. That one, it's 315 to the wall, so you're probably right, 320, 325 range.
And another outside pitch by Kennedy to go 3-1 on Lucarelli.
And that tells you, he's going somewhere after high school baseball. That's for sure.
He's coming right here to this field. So you just have to wonder if the Slippery Rock coach is not sitting here licking his chops saying that young man's playing for me next year. And a 5-pitch walk to Christian Lucarelli. Nate Kennedy.
Does set up the double play if that does happen, but that's the one thing you don't want to do after a home run is walk as well. Free bases
well,
again.
And more importantly, you score 4 runs.
Yes.
There's a hit. There's your double play you wanted. 6-4. Got it done. Did the Wolverines. Nice play there. Aaron Lake got her gobbled up. Did it to Gino Biondi. Biondi makes the pivot turn. Asking you shall receive, Mr.
I was going to say, does that make up all the jinxes?
It does. It really does. It does. I still wouldn't try it on free throws, but during baseball, you can say whatever you want. 9-5 here, folks. Bottom of the 7th. Wolverines one last chance here. We'll be coming right back. Welcome back, folks. 9-5, bottom of the 7th here. Hunter Garvin in there pitching. First pitch to Wolverine. Biscup back to the top of the order. Jacob Biscup there. Got an infield hit earlier in the game. Got the first hit of the game, actually. Ahead in the count, 2-0. 2-0 pitch by Garvin. Catches the outside corner of the plate.
Yeah, that glove went and reached. Good framing, I guess, from the catcher to bring it back.
That is an art form.
It
that
is.
The good catchers know how to do. 2-1 pitch by Garvin. Chopper up there, gobbled up by the second baseman from his hind side. Can't get the throw off, and that's going to be a hit by Jacob Biscup. Second baseman for Riverside. Logan Young, who moved over from left field when they had the pitching change, gave good chase to stop the ball. He really didn't have much chance.
Yeah, again, for the third or fourth time tonight, either the shortstop or second baseman, they have to take steps backwards. That's always a harder throw. And that's nothing against them. It's just that's where the ball goes.
Yep. Ball kind of has eyes sometime.
Mm-hmm.
So Nate Kennedy now coming in.
Can help himself here.
Yes, couple strikeouts for Nate so far tonight. See what he can do against Hunter Garvin. First pitch, down the middle strike. The Ellwood faithful seeing a little life here. Here's the pitch by Garvin, and a swing and a miss by Kennedy. He's down in the count, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch by Garvin. Him and his Panthers are up by 4. Ball is going to be outside. On the rubber is Garvin. Nate Kennedy awaits the pitch. Throws it in there for a strike 3. Garvin gets the strikeout.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Wolverines, you got to swing the bats, folks. You got to get the bat off your shoulder.
I really, not that I watch a lot of baseball, but you hear about them guys in that release point. And that Garvin's, his
Catching
release
it's
point,
tough.
and I mean, he's throwing it hard. He's got the MPH behind it, but it's just a little bit different being a lefty. Coming over that left shoulder. Now Jordan Keller, throw over. Biscup gets back. Jordan Keller grounded out in the first inning and flew to right field in the 5th. There's a pitch, and that's going to catch the right corner of the plate. It's 0-1 to Keller. Garvin's not a save situation, correct?
Correct.
He has 1 save on the year. There's the pitch. Going to be a little bit low. Going to be 1-1. Time, if official calls for time. I think that was asked for by Keller. Gavin quickly back on the rubber with the pitch. It's going to be a little bit outside. Pitch goes to 2-1. Really, this game, I mean, the Wolverines got Riverside needs to get 2 more outs to put this one in the books, but they had that huge third inning of 6 runs. There's going to be hit out of foul ball. I'm sorry, folks. Foul ball to the right.
Now inbounding.
So
Brad Welch.
Yeah.
at first base.
So, yeah. Don't you throw it in from over there?
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes. Hunter Garvin, 2-2 count. It'll be a chopper.
Tough play
up
here.
for first base. Can he get him? And he does.
Yep.
The speedy Zach Hare is playing now first base. Got that ball probably about 15 feet from the first base bag and was able to chase down Jordan Keller.
He definitely turned on the wheels to get there. That was a tough play. Good play there.
Yes, it was. I mean, Jordan Keller did everything he could do. So, folks, we're down to the final out. As the Wolverines sit there down 9-5. Biscup sitting there at second base. Aaron Lake into bat. Garvin with the pitch. And it's right down Broadway for a strike. Some of these batters would have just seen Hunter Garvin here earlier this week. Garvin's pitch. And that's going to be a ball.
I think ultimately that just goes to prove that 4-0 victory by Ellwood. That was definitely earned.
Yes. I mean, you've seen what this really, I didn't talk about it much. The bottom of the lineup contributed tonight offensively for Riverside as well. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's now going to be 1-2. Hunter Garvin, one strike away from putting this one in the books. Aaron Lake wants to see what he can do to not let that happen. Pitch is going to be outside. Biskup's going to run. Gets a stolen base. And quite honestly, if you're the catcher, Sean Hayes,
run doesn't matter.
Let the run really is not going to affect much at this time. So 2-2 pitch, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Aaron Lake wants a moment to think about it. Steps out of the box. Going to come back in. Way up in the plate. Way up in the batter's box is Lake. Here's the pitch. And going to say a little bit low. The Riverside faithful to our right seem to think that could have been a strike.
Extra minute to the parking lot.
Yes. 1 second, though, as the
time is going to be called.
One of the coaches come out. So that does make the count full.
Some Santana.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good playlist here.
This is something else.
Seriously, folks, if you're looking for a night out, and you said earlier, Brad, it don't cost anything to come to these games. It's free to come on in. Parking is right here by the stadium.
Now they're up at Gannon tomorrow, and good luck trying to get those 2 games in, a doubleheader up at Gannon for Slippery Rock. But catch a home game here.
Yep, don't be afraid to catch a home game in.
I wouldn't doubt maybe the Wolverines may make another trip here at some point again.
So, reset things here. Garvin on the mound on a 3-2 pitch. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, runner on third. Garvin's pitch, and he walks him. Making Garvin work a little harder tonight. I don't think he's had a walk yet this season.
Right. And it does not bring the tying run up to the plate, although 2 runners on. This can get a little interesting if
yes, it can.
This is the at bat now. If this happens in Ellwood's favor, look out, folks. This is something developing.
As Will Nardone comes to the plate, he's walked a couple times tonight. And now Garvin's pitch. And that's going to be low.
Last time these teams played, that was Will Nardone that had the 2 hits, RBIs.
Yes, he did.
To win that game, basically, for Ellwood last time, well, Tuesday.
Wolverines making it interesting. We're pretty quiet for the first 5 innings of this game. That's going to be a strike. 1-1. Hunter Garvin now looks over at Biscup on third. Got Aaron Lake at first. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a strike. It's 1-2. So for the second at bat, Hunter Garvin gets him one strike away from going home with a victory. Can he do it here? And and that's fouled off. And that was a good defensive hit there by Nardone. That ball was a little bit down in the strike zone, but it was a strike. A little bit brewing here as we find ourselves in the bottom of the seventh. Here's the pitch. There's a bouncer going to be up to second base. The throw to first, and that's going to be the ball game, folks, as the Riverside Panthers come away victorious in a 9-5 victory over the Ellwood City Wolverines. Lines read for the Riverside Panthers: 9 runs on 6 hits, no errors. The Wolverines, 5 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. And that's your ball game. Interesting point, Brad. 14 runs on 11 hits.
Yeah, you got to give credit there to the Riverside Panthers bouncing back after that unheard of 4-0 victory by Ellwood just a couple days ago, to come back and kind of set the tone early, jumping out to that 2-0 lead in that first inning, and from there on out they sailed to the victory. A well-earned 9-5 victory over your rival. You feel pretty good about yourself. Yeah, you want to be 2-0, but you come back and bounce back, split the series. Feeling pretty good.
Yes, you do. Will Nardone, you got 2 2/3 innings in. Brad will have all the stats for you here on our social media accounts. And Nate Kennedy did a nice job coming in for relief. Zach Hare touched them all tonight, as he took with 2 home runs to his credit, 3 RBIs for Hare on the evening, and a big win for the Riverside Panthers. So remind you folks, check out everything on the Ellwood City Wolverines Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitter accounts for all of your game stats and post-game show activities on tonight's game.
Yep. And then we'll start previewing some stuff for next week. A lot of things going on, a lot of every single sport's in action next week. More section games. Softball will be starting their section play as well. Baseball, I think, is Monday and Tuesday for their series. Monday, I think, is at Stowe Rocks and back home. Again, weather permitting, folks, I can guarantee you games will be moved around, shifted around.
It's spring in Western Pennsylvania.
It's April. But final score here, 9-5, Riverside with the victory. Ellwood will have to turn around again. Stowe Rocks on Monday. Thad?
So with that, I absolutely enjoyed this. Once again, we want to give a shout-out to the great people here at Slippery Rock University.
Yes.
And their beautiful stadium.
Yep. Tyler McIntosh.
Tyler.
The gang.
And making things happen here tonight. And to the guy playing the music, does a nice job with that as well. Give a shout-out to him. So with that, folks, we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast as much as we've enjoyed presenting it to you. Good night, everybody.